Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Campaign 11, Foolish Burials. I am your host, as always, Virinity Void. This here is part 15. Indeed, we are in the latter part of the 1700s. It is 1771. We're going to be going into the 1790s today. And we are going to right now read a little bit more a couple more national ideas from who should we read from today? Who should we read from? You know what? We're gonna read a little bit from. You know what? Actually, I had it in my mind and then it escaped me. I don't know why. God damn it. We'll go with Nongerheim. I think I don't know if I did the third and fourth ones. Let me see. No, okay. We'll do the third and fourth national ideas of Nongerheim. And that'll be that. If you want to know what happened in the previous part 14, please go back and watch part 14. I encourage it. Anyways, Nongerheim, the victim of Breda and Stargard's aggression as of late, being confined to the Isles. The third national idea of Nongerheim is reach of Gjavshammer. While the oak of our great trade armadas oft come to rest in particular staple ports for the season, smaller trade vessels, the Gjavshammer, often make their own voyages to further ports, forming smaller trade routes for the time we remain. Ship trade power propagation plus 30%. The fourth national idea is Anarting. A secondary assembly within the realm, the Anarting, was the means by which non-giants often participate in local politics. Generally, well respected by the court, the Anarting often produces men who are called upon for their service and insight. Advisor cost minus 15%. So, Nongerheim's national ideas, to some, they might seem a little underwhelming, but honestly, they're not too bad. And especially the infantry pips, these are fantastic. But it's just, when you're up against the powerhouse that is Breda, backed by Stargard, and you don't have a firm hold on continental Europe, it's a little much. Anyways, let's get it going. Current wars, the Ankaroglus are going after Mzab, and okay, the Ankaroglus are going to win that. It's their first win in a very long while. And Miao going after Maltasia. My throat kind of hurts today, but it doesn't hurt too much. I'm going to try to keep going with it, but I don't know. We'll see. Avaz going after Lanna, or Ayutthaya, not Lanna. And, Ayutthaya is not gonna... They aren't gonna live very long. And Kappa units, yeah. I remember last part, Kappa units, they didn't do too hot. They had the opportunity to be okay. They had the opportunity to maybe push back Bagaroyong over here in Palawan and Tete, but they didn't. They didn't have a general on that army, and they suffered because of it. Also, Mongolia got eliminated. Belobog has been slicing and dicing at Khazaria, and they're doing it once again. It is the fourth imperialist war, and it's just like, what can Khazaria do? That's really about it. What can Khazaria really do? Nothing. What are you doing, Breda? What are you doing? Soldiers of Breda lined up in the lowlands. I swear to God, this region gives me PTSD. This region right here, I'm zooming out, this region, the Low Countries, gives me PTSD. Because the last time we had a super strong country come out of the lowlands, it was a vanilla tag. And it was Holland on an old Beyond Typus map. And Holland was absolutely dominant. They went revolutionary in that campaign, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Almost like how Wessex in a previous campaign absolutely popped off and eventually dominated Europe. It was Holland from a previous campaign was like that Wessex from a previous campaign. So yeah, there's good reason why I get PTSD from this thing called Breda. So Breda is attacking Zaramar, Hungary, and Ashanti, Hungary. You're making the wrong allies in life. You're... Oh. Oh, shit. That was very quick. The revolution isn't even that old. It's not spread that far. Like, legitimately, it's spread just a little bit over here, and that's it. But that was enough for Belobog to say, like, you know what? Fuck whatever we had before. We're going for the revolution. Pick up your pitchforks. Let's do this. Yeah, that's a little surprising. I was wondering why they had rebels and all that. Now I know why. They're at -1 stability, but it's Belobog. If they can tame the revolution, if they can absolutely get it under their grasp and maintain themselves because of it, Belobog is going to be nigh unstoppable for the rest of this campaign. We have a little bit less than 100 years left. We stop in 1865. That's more than enough time for Belobog to pop off and go against Stargard and Breda and maybe even win. Like, I'm not joking when I say this is seriously impactful for the rest of the campaign. The Rozwi-Sudanese War. It's just it's going to be a slapping of Sudan, I think, because the Rozwi Empire they have quite a few more troops, and Miao is being invaded. Oh my, Ava. Ava has taken a sledgehammer to Miao thanks to the backup of Tamilakam. Yeah, Tamilakam, Pagaryong, and then Neo Buyeo on top of that. My, oh my, Miao. This is... I thought Miao was actually gonna, like, you know, maybe resurge a little bit. No, Miao is actually gonna collapse. There's nothing they can do, and they don't have a strong ally other than Japan. It's cool to see that Japan, or Hakure, because Myoran is dead, or not dead, but you know what I mean. It's cool to see that Hakure is landing troops to try and help out Miao by invading Neo Buyeo, but it's not enough, unfortunately. It really is not enough. Heng Yang is about to fall to Ava and that 3-star general, and Miao just doesn't have an answer. Their military has utterly collapsed in the face of overwhelming numbers and overwhelming odds. It should be said, too, that Kappa units have also collapsed entirely. They're left with less than what they started with at the campaign. No, never mind. Because they have Cagayan, Ifugao, and Ilocos. So they still have more than what they started with at the beginning. More than what they started with at the beginning of the campaign, but they are in tatters. They are very much struggling. Pagaryong is super dominant. And Pagaryong also has a majority control over Java, so the Buddhists have really resurged back into power against Hindus and Sunnis alike. Japan is making a dent down here in the Malay Peninsula, and they are still making progress in Neo Buyeo's territory, but it's kind of too late. Miao is just... The mainland is gone. The Malay Peninsula might be taken back because of Ava. Actually, okay, Japan is holding out, but it's just, how long can you hold out? Pagaryong is reinforcing down here. Do you have enough troops down here in Japan? Japan, to hold off? Seems like you do. Pagaryong is wearing you down, but that discipline, that combat ability, it's working out. So this is one of the rare cases where, like, the naval/military ally that has to transport troops over is really pulling their weight and trying to save their ally, but it's just not enough, unfortunately. I'm sad to say, it's just not enough. And yeah, still slicing and dicing at Khazaria. Breda is at war with Nongerheim. Now they called Hungary. Breda is now at war with Nongerheim, Hungary, Wari, and the Alpine Federation. So the Alpine Federation, again, not making the best of allies, still allied with Nongerheim, and they are going to suffer because of it. Stargard is in this war too, and you know, it's not enough to just have Breda slapping folks around in Europe. No. Stargard has to also slap some folks around too, right? Albania going after Mopaka, and it is dire times for Mopaka. It is, oh my god. Albania landed over here. There's the pirates. It's not looking good for the pirates, if I'm honest. It's not looking good. I think that's supposed to be like Ramon de Villa. I'm not sure. Anyone's guess, really. And it's the same thing with Mexico. Mexico can't stand up to anything that Albania throws at it. It is dark times for anyone that tries to contest against Albania. Truly dark times. Quebec, no allies, but they are under Louis XV. And Canada, that was West Korea, turned Canada, they are under King William IV, Henry Yi. Because that makes sense. And Belobog, revolutionary Belobog, grows even more. And there's the peace deal with Miao. Ava takes a huge chunk of Tibet. Hassa, a tributary of Ava now, gets a little bit of its land back. And yeah, Miao that was a horrific war for them. And it's not because of their own. It's not because of their own ineptitude. Well, actually, it kind of is. It kind of is, actually. Miao just wasn't prepared. I take back what I said. Miao was inept. They weren't ready. They weren't prepared. Japan was fully prepared. Hakure was ready and willing to go. They tried to invade Neo-Buyeyo. They took over the Malay Peninsula. They were holding out hard. But it just wasn't enough in the end. And oh my goodness, Bone actually invaded Macronesia's capital over here at Manokwari and forced Macronesia back onto Micronesia, where Nanmodal sits unbuilt. Also, Socotra somehow has taken over the majority of Papua New Guinea, and they are a pirate confederacy some fucking how. What is going on with you, Socotra? How the hell are you like this? And your capital is here at Karema? Like, what? How are you like this? And your primary culture is fucking Papuan. Gone are the days of when you were just over here and your culture was Mahri or whatever. No, you're actually just over there being pirates and doing shit. I respect the hustle, but I'm curious how the hustle got to that point, if you know what I mean. And Stargard is, they're facing a little bit of pressure from Hungary, but, I mean, just mop them up. Get the mop bucket and then just, you know, clean house. Mopaka, they're suffering. They're trying. And Brazil is under attack by Chenla for Villabella. That's not that's not like my American side. It could be like Villa Bella, I'm not sure. But yeah, Brazil is being invaded heavily, and to their credit, Brazil tried up here, but now it is Brazil's turn to try and quell these occupations. I doubt they'll be able to, but they are one military tech ahead of Chenla, so maybe. Chenla just has so many more forces. It's a little hard to compete with. Brazil is okay. They sent an army back. Where is what is that province? Right here. So I don't think Brazil is going to unoccupy that anytime soon. I do think Brazil is probably going to win this war. Or not Brazil. I'm sorry. Chenla is going to win this war. Also, Isle of the Blessed. Look how well they're doing. Look at this comeback, folks. Clap, clap, clap. I like what I am seeing, Isle of the Blessed. You're making a comeback. And you have not changed your primary culture either. Is your capital still over there? Yes, it is. And that is a metropolis. Look at that. Look at Tenerife. Look at that. 21 production. 7 manpower. 13 base tax. And it produces paper. You know what that paper is going for on those islands over there? They're cataloging their comeback. God damn it. They're selling copies. They are selling so many fucking copies about Isle of the Blessed's comeback. Bitches. That's what they're writing. You know it. Oh hey, the Shanzhou Alliance is back. Welcome back, Shanzhou Alliance. We missed you. Did you miss being alive? Did you miss being in the game? If you didn't, that's too damn bad because you've been brought back to life. Baltistan, they're still suffering at the hands of their neighbors, and part of those neighbors is Handia. Bukhara invaded Miao and they took a little bit of land, and now Khazaria is taking out their frustrations from Belobog out on Bukhara. I don't think Bukhara is going to be able to stop this if I do think correctly, and I do. Let me see how this revolution is going. Let's look at how this revolution is spreading. That is just that's insane to me. That, you know, like not even like a couple years after the revolution started. Oh hey, I'll take up the revolution, says Belobog. Let's see, Miao. They're still allied with Japan, so Japan being a very faithful ally to Miao, which is cool to see. It's gonna stretch Japanese military resources, but it's cool to see. I just noticed too. It's really late to notice this, but this is the first time in a very long time that we have not seen a unified Japan that is extending itself heavily into Southeast Asia. They have a little bit of control over here, a few provinces here and there, but they're not colonizing the Philippines. No Borneo action, no Java, no Sumatra or Sulawesi, none of that. It's just a few provinces here and there, which is not what I expected, to be honest. It's not what I expected from the Japanese region this time around. I am very much used to a unified Japan getting off to a very good early start, overstretching themselves and not being able to manage their empire with naval transportation. There's a rather big war over here, Bagariong conquest of Blambangan, which is right here, and Bone, their navy just can't hold back Bagariong. Bagariong has transported their troops to Borneo, and I think Borneo is a prime target for Bagariong. If Bagariong takes over Borneo, or takes even a sizable chunk, I'm going to enable Nusantara to be formed in the next part, which, if they do form that will be the very first time we have Nusantara being formed, which would be very, very cool in my opinion. Hungary, almost squeezed out of life, almost squeezed from this very plane of existence, and Albania has landed in Brazil. Brazil still reeling from that loss against Chenla. They have lost any and all land down here, so Albania is going to take what they want from Brazil, seemingly. What do they want? It's an imperialist war, so God knows what they want. Okay, so you just want like the gems and the silver and the gold, right? Yep, silver. I think we all saw that coming. Somehow Mexico landed over here in Mopaca territory and drove those pirates back. The pirates still in shambles. They may be a stable pirate confederacy or pirate kingdom. They're not a very capable one anymore, though, unfortunately. I wish Mopaca could have done better. I do. I really do. But sadly, Sometimes the life of a pirate just doesn't work out. Sometimes it just doesn't quite work. Miao being invaded by Nongerheim and Wari. Wari is going to pay the price, though. Japan is over there helping out Miao and absolutely fucking them up. Nongerheim, it seems like they... No, these occupations are from Wari and Wari only. Nongerheim, I don't believe, transported any troops over this way. Razui Empire, they're looking large, they're looking in charge. What else do we got here? Makamatsu is going after the Shanzhou Alliance, which we saw. And then Peru, or Chenla. Lam is still a thing, but they're just guarding the Falklands. That's really about it. One more war with La Plata and Chenla, and I think that's going to be it. I think La Plata will die after that. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna stretch. I am still waiting on... Oh, Belobog. Belobog has no allies anymore. They stand alone in this godforsaken world. Yeah, Breda... I'm curious when Breda and Belobog are gonna go to war. I pretty much had that on my calendar at some point, just like BVB question mark, because I'm very curious if Belobog can like muster the revolutionary fervor to take down Breda and Stargard. If they can, I will be absolutely amazed. If they don't and they lose to Breda and Stargard, I'm not gonna be too surprised because fucking Breda has full control of the Low Countries. That's an OP region in my opinion. It's too powerful. Far too powerful. Bukhara pushed up a hell of a lot. A huge chunk of their land has been taken by the Khazars, but it's not going to mean much because the Khazars can just be, culled more by Belobog. Makamatsu, still at war with the Shanzhou Alliance. They have their attention divided though between the far reaches of Bukhara's border and, the Shanzhou Alliance in China itself. So, you got your work cut out for you, Makamatsu. Alright, looks like I will be allowing the formation of Malaya/Nusantara in the next part because Pagadion, they have full control over mainland Java, most of Borneo, and most of the Philippines. They are insane right now. This, holy shit. Oh my god. How do you do this, man? How do you get to this point? You're so dominant, Pagadion. Your navy is dominant. Your military is all over the place. Like, you transported over 60,000 to Borneo. You slapped bone. It's just, glorious to see. And Australia is chilling. Al Jazeera Al Qadra is absolutely just taking a back seat and chilling with a martini in hand under the sun, just watching the days go by, watching the sun set in the distance. It must be a nice life, Al Jazeera Al Qadra. Must be real nice. Revolutionary Belobog. Why is the Maghreb a thing? I'm just wondering, where the game found the time. Oh, you know what? There's separatists here. We're gonna pull Maghreb out of the bag. Why not? Fraxinatum. Somehow they still live, but they're just on Cape Verde with a huge amount of base tax. Good. Are you a tax haven? Are you smuggling taxes? Are you committing tax fraud over there, Fraxinatum? What the fuck? Albania going after Chenla now, trying to extend their reach into South America even more. They took Marajo from Brazil, And it is that's a key point of interest, but it is not a controlling interest in South America. So, depending on what Albania takes from Chenla, that could open, like, just kick open the doors and absolutely cement, like, Albanian dominance of Central and part of South America. Like, look how big Albania is. They even have fucking Greenland, of all places. Greenland. Eesh. But yeah, Albania is huge. They are large and in charge and not giving a fuck. Ankaroglu is being attacked, are attacking Mzab once more. Sudan, defending against the Razwi Empire. Also the Khazars just did a quick war down here and fucking took out more of Sudan. That's a little mean, don't you think, Khazars? I mean, I know you're trying to escape from Belobog. I know you are. I don't think you're going to, but, yeah. I guess credit where credit is due for trying to escape the hungry jaws of your enemy. Baltistan is now a vassal of Handia. I know the morale maxing may not have quite worked out for Handia before, but as of now at least, they're doing pretty okay. Also, they are no longer Sol Invictus. They changed their religion somehow. Not entirely sure, but sorry about the yawn. I'm not entirely sure how they changed religions, but they are now Vajrayana. I think they got it from Baltistan, and yeah, or maybe the religion was forced on them, because they were a vassal, or I think at one point, were they a vassal or were they a tributary? I can't exactly remember, but I think maybe it was forced on them. I could be wrong, but that's what my mind harkens back to. Also, is Zotomar dead? No, they're not. They are left to the Pacific Islands of the Society Islands. And damn, that is one underdeveloped capital. I guess just, do what you can, Zotomar. I think that's their only province. Like, let me take a look, because now I'm curious. 11 province. We have 4 provinces and 2. Okay, I think I see 1. So there's 1, 2. I don't know where their other provinces are, but I'm just guessing they are like tiny Pacific islands, maybe tiny Indian Ocean islands. But yeah, Zotomar is teensy tiny at this point. They really are. Oh, goodness. Miao being invaded by Handia and Baltistan, so I don't think Miao will be able to put up much of a fight. Yeah, Handia has like double their troops. And the Shanzhou Alliance, no, okay, they have their independence guaranteed by Bukhara, but Makamatsu allied with Wari and ready to go at them again if they need to. Tamilakam allied with Ava, Pagariong Handia. Okay. Belobog not at war with anyone, and Breda isn't at war with anyone. Let's take a look at the war listings. Al Jazeera Al-Qadra is actually going to war with Socotra. Okay. I'm not sure why you're going to war with Socotra. I thought you were pretty content. Australia. Nongerheim going after Chenla. Peru, okay. That kind of does it. Peru has, Albania now has I would say a controlling interest, a majority controlling interest in Central America, and they are making their way into South America. They took a silver mine, 2 silver mines actually, and they took a port down here. Chenla just looks like they can't really defend against other powers. The only power that Chenla can actually go after is Brazil. That's it. No one else. Interesting state of affairs. I would think maybe Chenla should team up with Mexico, but that would be only if they are not rivals. So Unfortunately, that is impossible. Let's see what else. Khazar Particularis. The Khazars aren't going to be able to go up there, probably. Somehow Perm is still alive. Or Komi. I prefer Komi, but Syncretic with Norse? Syncretic with Norse? Good sir? I guess because Novgorod was up here once. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Well, Novgorod is no longer around. Sapmi is still around, though, and they are a Norse monastic order, somehow. Interesting. Komi is a tribe. Barbaric despoilment. Okay. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to question it. And just like I'm not going to question how Miao is falling to Baltistan and Handia. I just noticed Makamatsu, they got back Hokkaido, their original stomping grounds. Interesting that they finally got it back. I did not think they would finally get back their original capital, but they did. Props to you. Let's see, Wari. Who are you allied with? Pagaryong, Makamatsu, Nongerheim. Well, hopefully the monarch of Wari is much more competent than that one monarch who left the state of Wari on the edge of collapse. What other wars do we got going on? Minor wars. Imarina v Somalia and the UAR. Japan's going after Bone. Yeah, nothing too big right now. Ava going after Miao, that's kind of big, I guess. It's kind of big because Ava is growing stronger and stronger. I am very curious, how far are you along with your missions, actually? Conquer, move the capital to Pegu. I don't think they're going to do that, honestly. Should I do that for the AI? Should I have them move their capital to Pegu? I don't know if I should. I'll ask some people. But yeah. I mean, because if I do that, I would not be like giving the AI monarch points. I would use the monarch points they already have. So if they have enough like admin to move their capital, then I would do that. But I'll ask some people, see if that's generally, if they think that's an okay thing to do, because it is Ava, it is a vanilla tag, but it could impact how the AI thinks or goes about things. We'll see. And they are converting provinces, as we heard. They have minus 60 karma. So they're not doing all that well with regards to who they conquer and whatnot. Their karma is in flux. What? Oh, more rebels, more people who don't believe in the revolutionary cause. 1792, I think we'll go to about 1795. Oh, let's go 1795. 1792. Okay, yeah, that gives us a few more years. Bone no longer being invaded by Japan. Bone lost a couple islands down here, but it's nothing huge. Japan can still very much lose that stuff to Pagaryong. And Handia, yeah. Japan, like, I'm not ragging on Japan. Hakure has been absolutely a faithful ally to Miao and has definitely pulled their fair share, pulled their weight. It's just Miao has too many enemies listed and the enemies are too powerful. It is that simple. So Miao's going to lose their land over here, most likely. Lose their land in Tibet. And just, they're going to shrink more and more. I expect Wari is even going to regain some of this land back, meaning they will be whole. Japan occupying some land of Pagarayong, giving some war exhaustion to Pagarayong, but it's not going to be too much, I think. Bone, not having any of Socotra's shit, and, about to take over Socotra's capital. Bone, okay, so defending against Bone, malted Socotran imperialist war. Somehow Maltasia thinks they have the oomph, the power to wage a war. I don't know where you get that impression, Maltasia, but sure. You do you. Macronesia, they are chillaxing, just doing their own thing. Alright. Miao got pieced out, and indeed, they lost most of their Tibetan provinces and most of their Indian provinces. They have one thing left, and that's Pataliputra. And also, just some scattered, Tibetan provinces, but they will be lost soon enough. I am very curious what Ava is going to take from Miao. That's going to be very interesting to see. Is this the fifth one? Oh, this is the Belo-Bulgian Revolutionary War. It's no longer an imperialist war. No. They are spreading the revolution. And if you dare resist the revolution, you will be culled. Forced to submit. Forced to accept the revolution. Alpine Federation coming down hard on Chenla, as well as Mexico coming through. It seems as though Chenla they can't catch a break at all. And they haven't been building forts up here in the north, so Chenla just can't really defend. They have the same tech level. Oh no, there are a couple military techs behind. That explains their military losses. Never mind. I thought they were on the same military tech level. I was wrong. And Mopaka, they could get some land back if Albania slacks off enough, but I don't think Albania is going to slack off. I think they're going to take away this land and put down those separatists. Alright, final year of this part, 1795. Going to be stopping in October of this year. Khazar Horn of Africa and Revolutionary Belo-Bog. Yeah, it's just brutality against the Khazars. To be fair, the Khazars have been brutal to their own neighbors. See Mesopotamia, the graves of Yaman and Armina and Kazan, and Bukhara too, who has been suffering greatly. Yeah. Also, Green is in this too. Oh no, Green is going after Bukhara. Oh, it's the oh, okay. So I don't think Green is gonna really go, is gonna get any opposition there. Imerina. Breda, Stargard, and Mesopotamia against Nongerheim, Wari, and the Alpine Federation. So this is a little potential to be a little bit different because it's an imperialist war against Nongerheim. So once the Alpine Federation is pieced out, Breda will not be gaining war score because they can't get to Nongerheim's capital. And if, say, Nongerheim wins the war because Breda can't get to Nongerheim's capital, I'm very curious what Nongerheim is going to take. Stargard also has almost all of Scandinavia. Nongerheim, just straight up pushed out of anything Scandinavian. Yeah, just the continual shrinking of the land of the giants. And I guess we will see the conclusion to this war against Miao in the next part. It's interesting times in Asia. I did not foresee Miao falling like this, if I'm honest. Oh, goodness. And, oh, shit. Razwi Empire pieced out the United African Republic and released Benin, Oyo, and Kanem Bornu. And they are all Orisan. Okay. Pretty interesting. I didn't expect the Razwi Empire to release those three states, but interesting times indeed. Other than that, though, I believe it is time we look at that scoreboard. So, in first place is Revolutionary Belobog. In second place is Breda. In third place is the United States of Albania. In fourth place is Khazaria. In fifth place is the Alpine Federation. In sixth place is Stargard. In seventh place is Chenla. In eighth place is Tamilakam. In ninth place is Ava. In 10th place is Nongerheim. In 11th place is Green. And in 12th place is Hakure. Your economic hegemon that is still being proclaimed is by Revolutionary Belobog, and your military hegemon that is still being proclaimed is by Breda. That'll be all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next part.